I love what Ryan North is doing for Reed Richards' character right now. Look at this. This is so freaky and gross, but also really cool. Okay, let's start from the beginning. In the first issue of Ryan North's Fantastic Four run, the Fantastic Four and Doom are having another confrontation, and Dr. Doom basically sends all four of them to different periods of time in Earth's history. They all have entirely different reactions to this, and Reed says, fascinating. He's not even freaking out. He's just like, wonder what I can learn here. So Johnny is stuck on Earth before any kind of life ever existed. Ben is stuck in the dinosaur age. Reed got sent to 1266 CE, where mankind did exist, but they weren't exactly very advanced yet. And Sue Storm was sent to the very end of any kind of life on Earth. There are no animals, there are no plants, there are no humans. Now, the way that they plan to rescue themselves from the situation was by finding something called the Forever Stone, which is basically a rock that stays in the exact same spot for the entirety of Earth's history. And each of them write what date and time period they're stuck in on the rock. And this is Reed's journey to go and finding that rock. Here, he turns himself into a literal sailboat and a bouncy ball, and then he uses his hands as shovels. Now, because Sue is the furthest ahead in time amongst the group, she is the one that has to come back and save the rest of the team. However, there's one slight problem. The transmitter inside of the Forever Stone is not responding. So Sue has no way of finding and getting to the Forever Stone. She goes inside of a cave and she does find some water. She uses her powers to bend light and look into it as a microscope, and it is revealed there is a tiny bit of life left on Earth in the form of bacteria. But Sue refuses to drink it because she's not going to be responsible for killing the last life that is left on Earth. She has to find another way to survive. Now, fortunately for her, she is married to the smartest man on Earth. Now, he theorizes that Sue might not be able to find the Forever Stone, so Reed comes up with a plan. He creates a machine that produces modern steel hundreds of years ahead of schedule for humanity, but nobody will ever find it. But the next step involves projective calculations. It's very, very complex. And it's very, very hard. But really very hard is still very, very possible. And he literally seeps himself into the ground. Now, Sue is still in this cave, and she's thinking, you don't marry someone without knowing how they think. So what is Reed doing? How does Reed Richards help someone stranded, untold, billions of years into the future? And Reed says, it's very simple, darling. You move heaven and earth. And Sue says the same thing. She flies all the way up into the sky. She turns 40 vertical miles of the Earth's crust invisible. And Reed created artificial diamonds in the Earth's crust in the shape of arrows to point her to the Forever Stone. And Sue says he would have had to extend himself deeper than any mine, any borehole, deeper than any living being has ever been for every single diamond.